What's up everybody, I'm Jeff Gresham and welcome back for yet another video. Today, I'm going to share what I learned and my current process for shooting drag racing. I've only been shooting drag racing for the past 2 seasons, which isn't a very long time. And not all photographers can actually take exciting shots of the sport. Hell, I was one of them. Last year, I was afraid of getting in the way. And I was mainly focused on just shots of the dragsters burning out. I mean, it's exciting at first, but then you see every car at the event burning out. You're left with the feeling of, well, what's left? Why come back to the next event? I got all the cars, I got all the smoke. Well, I learned a few things, either by watching hundreds of videos online or by trial and error. My first season shooting drag racing, I was going back and forth between the drag strip and the dirt track. 2 totally different styles of racing, different speeds, different tracks, you name it. Everything was just kind of different. Often I'd be shooting both on the same day. So I'd start the day at the drag strip and I'd get my burnout shots and move on to pan shots. But getting into the rhythm for the pan shots took a bit of time. The vehicles are traveling over 100 miles per hour and going in a straight line. So I get my settings dialed in and get my movement down and I get my shots. Then I head out to the dirt track for a whole different event. Those cars are going 60, maybe 70 miles per hour. They're going in a circle and they're on dirt. So the whole rhythm is just disrupted and thrown off. And I end up spending time trying to get acclimated to the speed of the track, and just it got to be too much, and mainly just because I'd be doing back-to-back events the whole weekend. So the first thing that I learned is to choose priority. In this case, the drag strip for me was not only more challenging, but in all honesty, the beauty of the dragsters made it an easy choice. This gave me a lot more freedom. I was able to relax, and think about my shots a bit more, and, keep track of what I was doing when I was doing it. I also learned that I needed less gear at the drag strip over the dirt track. So let's get into the gear that I used at the drag strip as well as the process. So prior to getting my Canon R7, I would take my Canon Eos-R for my main and my Canon 80D as a backup. Now, I only ended up using the 80D once, and that was during my first season, and honestly, I have no idea why I brought a backup for that type of event. Now I just take my R7 and no backup. So right now my main lens is the Sigma 120 to 400 millimeter, and I use that one for those nice wheels up shots that I can take from like 50 yards away and look like I'm up close and personal. And since the R7 is a crop sensor with a 1.6 times crop, that turns that lens into a 192 to 640 millimeter with lens stabilization as well as in-body stabilization. That lens allows me to get some nice zoomed in burnout shots. Super sharp, and the background compression is outstanding. I also love using my Sigma 50 millimeter f1.4. It's great for shots of the dragsters as they're parked, getting repairs, or prepping for the next round. I also use the 28 to 70 Sigma as well when I want a bit of a wider angle. The last lens I use, and actually probably the most important lens, is my Sigma 70 to 200 f2.8. It's what I typically use for those pan shots. It's really sharp even at f2.8, so when I stop it to f8 or f11, it's super sharp. And that seems to kind of be the sweet spot with that lens. So now about my prep and my process of finding the right spots and so on. So I'll get to the track and I'll take a quick look around and I'll see, what dragsters I recognize and which ones I don't. I'll grab the 50 and the 28 to 70 and I'll walk around the pit area, snapping shots of the bikes and the cars that I haven't gotten a lot of shots of. Oh, all right. So I'm always asked, what's my process? So I'm going to kind of run through that. So first thing I do, this is the first time I parked where I'm parking, but first thing I do is I walk the pit, and with that, what I do is I use pull out my 28-70, and I have a kind of an equivalent to the 28-70. If you put it on a crop sensor, it's a 17-50, both Sigmas, both 2.8. So with the 28-70, you get the 1.6 crop. With this one, this is a DC lens. You don't get that crop. So this one, I get a much wider view. So it's better for taking shots of just the cars. This gives me the chance to basically warm up, you know, find my groove, if you will. It's pretty rare that someone's first shot of the day is the best. So I like to use this time to get relaxed and kind of find my flow. So I made my way around the pit, talked to a couple people, handed out some cards, used this photo to take some shots of the cars that are just sitting there. Now what I do is I make my way down to the track, but I gotta stop by the car first. Next, I'll grab Helga, my big 120-400, and I'll head out to the track and focus on the burnouts and possible wheels up shots. I'm gonna switch over to my big Helga and use the 120-400, this big one, and that's when I get some up close shots, get some wheels up, things like that. And this pretty much is going to be it for the rest of the day. Is pretty much it until I switch over to the 70-200, which that's mainly for pan shots. I'll usually spend a full round doing this. I'll go through all the different classes and I'll shoot them burning out, and taking off. You know, some takeoff shots are great, while others are just kind of meh. So I'll take a quick break, use the restroom, grab some water or whatever, head back to my car and grab my umbrella and my chair. So typically I would have went back to the car, grabbed the 70-200 and my chair, my umbrella, come back, sat down right around here, maybe a little bit, about 10 feet that way, but typically about right in this area, because it seems to be my sweet spot. And I would sit down and get pan shots from up here. The reason I'm not doing that today is because there's really not enough vehicles to go back and forth to the car so many times. I can get pan shots here with this lens. I've done it. I prefer to do it with the 70-200, being that I'm on an APS-C camera. When I'm on the R, I can use this, no problem. But yeah, that's what I typically do. Right now, totally different story. It's kind of a relaxed day. I just came up here to take some shots, just to have some fun. Not even really to shoot this video. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, and that's my process. I just want to jump in here real quick. If you guys enjoy the content on this channel, please do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe for future content. And yeah, that's it. Now back to the video. Now I'll use the chair and umbrella for a few reasons. First, it's usually just hot as hell, being that I'm in the desert, and I found I personally can get smoother pan shots while sitting. I'll have my camera on my monopod and pop a little hole in the dirt, kind of just set it in there. This allows me to kind of keep my monopod in the same spot. And once I find my rhythm, I usually stay right on point. Now I choose to be somewhere around 80 yards away because I found it's the perfect position to get the dragsters at a good speed. You know, not too slow, not too fast. I usually catch them somewhere around 110 to 120 miles per hour. And so for the pan shots, I'll set my f-stop to f11 and my shutter speed between 1/40th and 1/60th. Well, every once in a while going as fast as 1/100, but usually 1/40th is my sweet spot. And that's pretty much it. Quite simple, actually. A pretty relaxed process. Sometimes I'll make a final walk through the pit before I leave, but most of the time I won't. Anyway, this video seems kind of long already, so I'll go ahead and cut it here. I hope by hearing my process it helps you with yours. I hope I was able to make some things make sense and give you an idea of where to start with your process. So until next time, just get out and shoot, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.